Alrighty, Pretender here, back with another Honkai style video, and today I'm here with the full build guide for Argenti, who is going to be rerunning on the second half of 2.3 alongside Jade. So just like my other build guides, this is going to be going over his kit, Eidolons, best Lightcones, best Relics, and some stat recommendations. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Before I get to the video, drop a like, drop a sub, hit the bell icon for more videos like this. I now have a full build guide for every 2.3 character, Firefly, Ruan Mei, and Jade. You can all check out right now on the channel. So if you are summoning for any of them, definitely recommend checking it out, and let's get straight into the video. So Argenti is a physical character following the path of erudition. His basic attack deals physical damage equal to 100% of Argenti's attack to a single target enemy. His skill deals physical damage equal to 120% of Argenti's attack to all enemies. And his ultimate, which is where he gets unique, he has two versions of the ultimate. So the first one consumes 90 energy and deals physical damage equal to 160% of Argenti's attack to all enemies. And the other one consumes 180 energy and deals physical damage equal to 280% of Argenti's attack to all enemies, and further deals damage for 6 extra times, with each time dealing physical damage equal to 95% of Argenti's attack to a random enemy. So if that does confuse you a bit, Argenti pretty much has two ultimates. He has one that you can use right away once you do hit 90 total energy, which is pretty much just a weaker version of the ultimate, and does allow you for some looping capabilities. But if you decide to save that and you double the energy, you cap it out at 180 max energy, and you get an enhanced version of the ultimate, which hits harder, and as it says, deals extra damage multiple times, doing more physical damage to enemies. So pretty much you could use the first one for more looping and just general clear stuff for farming, and then you use the big one for hitting more tanky enemies that might need a little more to go down. For his talent, anytime he uses basic attack, skill, or ultimate, he regenerates his own energy by 3, and that also grants him a stack of Apotheosis, which will increase his crit rate by 2.5% and stacks up to 10 times. For his technique, after using this technique, enemies within a set area are inflicted with Daze for 10 seconds. Dazed enemies will not actively attack the team. When attacking dazed enemies to enter combat, deals physical damage to all enemies equal to 80% of Argenti's attack and regenerates his energy by 15. For his bonus traces, his A2 at the start of the turn immediately gains 1 stack of Apotheosis. His A4, when enemy targets enter battle, immediately regenerates 2 energy for self. And his A6 deals 15% more damage to enemies whose HP is 50% or less. For his Eidolons, each stack of Apotheosis additionally increases crit damage by 4%. His E2, if the number of enemies on the field equals to 3 or more, when the ultimate is used, attack increases by 40% for 1 turn. His E4, at the start of the battle, gains 2 stacks of Apotheosis, and increases the maximum stack limit of the talent's effect by 2. And his 6th Eidolon, when using ultimate, ignores 30% of the target's defense. Now, moving on to Argenti's best Lightcone options. Thankfully, he does have a lot of options that, depending on how you use it, are not too far from each other. Obviously, his best one is going to be his signature Lightcone, giving him a 36% stat stick to crit damage, and also increasing the damage by his ultimate based on his own max energy. Each point of energy increases the ultimate damage by 0.36% up to 180 points of energy, which is the maximum limit. So this one giving you a crit damage increase is very nice because he does already give himself some crit rate. So getting some crit damage via this Lightcone is very nice. And since his main damage source is from his ultimate, giving him damage for the ultimate is very good. And since he can have up to 180 points of energy, you can get quite a hefty bonus from this Lightcone. Another option is Himiko's Lightcone. I only recommend using this if you are taking him into Pure Fiction though, because outside of it, it's kind of eh. Each enemy on the field grants you a 9% attack increase up to 5 stacks, and anytime an enemy is inflicted with Weakness Break, the damage dealt by the wearer increases by 30% for 1 turn. So in Pure Fiction, you practically always are facing up to 5 enemies anyways, so it's really easy to get the max attack bonus for this Lightcone. And especially in Pure Fiction, if they are weak to physical, it's really easy to get weakness breaks with Argenti, so that's also a nice reason to use this Lightcone. But outside of it, if there isn't the max amount of enemies on the field and you can't trigger the weakness break, this Lightcone becomes very weak. So again, outside of Pure Fiction, I would not recommend using this. Another great option is Jingwan's signature Lightcone, also giving you a 36% stat stick to crit damage, and also increasing the wearer's skill and ultimate damage by 18%, which ultimate again is the main source of damage, and the secondary source of damage is from his skill, which also hits pretty hard, so now you're getting a nice damage bonus for both of them. And I'm not even going to bother reading the last part of the skill because he does not have a follow-up attack, and that is mainly related to the follow-up attack, so sadly cannot make use of the second part of this Lightcone, but because of how good the first part is, it works on him just fine. Moving on to the 4 stars. Today is Another Peaceful Day is a Lightcone you can get from the Battle Pass. Since it is a 4-star, I will display it as 5. When you do enter battle, you get more damage based on your max energy, and that increases 0.4% per point of energy up to 160 energy. So sadly, it doesn't give you the extra 20 that Argenti can get because he can go up to 180, but 160 is good enough, and this Lightcone increases your damage overall rather than just your ultimate. So this is a really good Lightcone with them. Especially if you do it at an S5, it can practically almost rival the signature Lightcone. The signature Lightcone obviously does give a little more damage, but this one also increases your damage overall rather than just your ultimate and the crit damage stat stick. Another option is Genius's Repose. I'll just say now, I'm not going to say this for every part, but 4 stars, so I'm going to display it at S5, and I'm going to do that for the other 4 stars as well. I don't want to say this 3 more times, so I'm just going to say it now. But Genius's Repose giving you a 32% attack increase, and anytime you defeat an enemy, the warrior's crit damage increases by 48% for 3 turns. This is another fantastic Lightcone because, again, 32% attack is really good. And especially if you can keep the uptime on it the second part by just killing one enemy, getting a 48% crit damage is very good. That's higher than the signature Lightcone or Jing 1 signature Lightcone. So it can be really good, but definitely would prioritize getting the defeating an enemy part because without it, this Lightcone is just a 32% attack stat stick, which is okay, but it does lose a lot of value without the second part. Another option is Make the World Clamor, giving you 32 energy immediately upon entering battle, which can be nice for some early ultimates, but mainly for the fact it increases your ultimate damage by 64%. So this is just going to give Argenti's ultimate, which again is his main source of damage, a massive increase in damage, but sadly outside of that it doesn't give you much. So for the skill it doesn't do anything, for the basic anytime you use it doesn't really do anything, but at least you get a very big increase on your ult damage. And then the last Lightcone is the Seriousness of Breakfast. A 24% damage increase is very nice, just increasing your damage overall. And anytime you defeat an enemy, you get an 8% attack increase, stacking up to 3 times. So you just need to kill 3 enemies, which is very doable outside of just Pure Fiction. In Pure Fiction, you stack this practically instantly, but even in something like Memory of Chaos or something if you're doing a simulated universe, it is just really easy to just get 3 enemies killed. So this is another option you can do, and it is also free to play, so it is very accessible. Alright, moving on to the relic portion of this video. For the main relics, there really isn't much, sadly, but the best thing you can do is 4-piece of the physical set. The 2-piece increasing your physical damage by 10%, and the 4-piece anytime you attack or get hit, you get a 5% attack increase for the rest of the battle that stacks with the 5 times. And since you are attacking a lot with Argenti, looping the ultimate at times, spamming the skill, it is really easy to stack up this relic set, unless you are doing something on the shorter side. But if you don't have access to that, you can do 2-piece of that, and then 2-piece of Musketeers for the 12% attack increase. Just a nice little attack increase, and if you can't do that either, say if you just don't have the physical set, you can do 4-piece Musketeers. Again, 2-piece for the 12% attack increase, and then the 4-piece just giving you some more speed, and then increasing your basic attack damage, which not really going to be too helpful because for the most part you want to spam the skill, and mainly the ultimate, so it doesn't really help you in that front, but it's mainly for the speed, and anytime you do need to use a basic attack, it does help you there. For the planner ornaments, the best planner ornament is going to be Glamoff. If you're able to get him to 160 speed, it is easily the best, but even at 135 speed, it does take the slight edge between second and first place, giving you a 12% attack increase, and if you have 135 speed, you get a 12% damage increase, and if you have 160 speed, you get an 18% damage increase. This one's just nice, giving you a 12% attack increase and also increasing your damage dealt, which damage dealt in this game is also very good. So if you are running him with a more speed build, or if you're pairing him with someone that boosts speed such as Hanya, which is very common, it becomes really easy to get the 160 speed with this. Another option is Inertial Salto, giving you an 8% crit rate increase and also increasing your ultimate and follow-up damage by 15% if you have 50% or higher crit rate. The follow-up attack part sadly is useless, but again, main source of damage comes from the ultimate, so you're getting a 15% damage increase to your ultimate damage, which is really nice. And then the last ornament is everyone's favorite, Space Ceiling Station, giving you 12% attack, and then if you have 120 speed or higher, giving you an additional 12% attack, giving you up to a 24% attack increase, just a nice little attack percent increase. For the main stats for the relics, for the body, you definitely want to do crit rate or crit damage corresponding to which one you need more. For the feet, you do want to have speed for the breakpoint, but if you are pairing him with someone that gives speed, as I mentioned, someone like Hanya, and you get enough speed rolls from your substats, and you're able to get to the 135 speed, or 160 speed if you're using Glamoff, or just 134 for breakpoint via that, then that's completely fine. You could switch this to attack percent for a nice damage increase. For the orb, you want to do physical damage percent, and for the link rope, you want attack percent. For the substats, you mainly want to be focusing on getting enough speed to hit breakpoint, but as I mentioned, if you have someone like Hanya, just getting enough rolls to where the Hanya boost will get you to the speed you need, that's completely fine. And then past that, you just want to get some crit rate, crit damage, and attack percent, just your generic DPS rolls. And so yeah, that is the full build guide for Argenti. It is very straightforward to build them generally, thankfully. And so yeah, let me know if you guys are going to be summoning for Argenti. I'm going to be honest, I highly doubt a lot of you are going to be summoning for Argenti. I don't really know that many people that like Argenti like that. I know there are just people like, oh yeah, he's cool, but I'm not going to summon for him. Me personally, I'm gonna be summoning for him, just gonna be getting him. Probably not his Lightcone though, because the other options are just nearly as good. So I'm just getting one copy and calling it good, and then I finally have my farming unit. But it's also mainly just because of him saving, oh, okay, well, I guess spoiler warning, 3, 2, 1, him saving Aventurine in the story automatically puts him in the GOAT tier for me because he just saved the GOAT, greatest of all time. So that's more than enough reason for me to summon. Anyway, so yeah, let me know if you guys are summoning, or if you already have him, you might be going for dupes or his Lightcone if you didn't initially. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Hope you found the video helpful. Peace out.